of the victims' mothers, who joins us now, Charlotte Laws, who joins us from Los Angeles. Good to see you, Charlotte, this morning. And when you look at this, and I looked at the sort of longer trailer earlier on, it is absolutely unbelievable that he could not only do this, but flaunt what he was doing so outrageously.
Yeah, it was just about hatred. It was about humiliation. It was about ruining lives. It was about driving women to suicide. It was not about nudity or pornography. It was really extremely disturbing. I mean, it was really quite amazing. And I think the documentary does a good job depicting the horror of that website.
Horrific sentiment and motivation, and the damage it did to victims. So explain to us, if you can, what happened to your daughter and how you felt when you realised that these pictures of her had been made public in such a vile way.
Well, she was hacked, and she found out about it when she was at her waitress job, and she could barely even finish her shift. She called me right away and said, "Something horrible happened, Mom." And I had never heard of revenge porn until that moment. And I went on the website and I was shocked to see what it was. And I knew that, a topless picture like that would simply populate in cyberspace. It's not going to go away. And I knew that time was of the essence and I would have to very quickly get this down. I hoped that I would be able to just send an email to Hunter Moore and get him to remove it. But that did not work, and there were many people online that said he will not remove pictures. And so I realized I had to become an investigator. I had been a private detective in the 1980s, and I had to investigate him and figure out what this site was all about and figure out a way to get my daughter's picture down.
I mean, what is remarkable, if you don't mind me saying, is the fact that your absolute determined effort to deal with this. A lot of people you can see would be banging their heads against a brick wall with this one, thinking, I just don't know what to do. You seemed absolutely determined that this was not going to stop you.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter Moore was very obsessed with the site. I mean, it's like he didn't even sleep. He was so into this. And I knew I would have to be just as determined, just as obsessed to get that picture down. And I very quickly figured out there was a hacking scheme because my daughter's friend was also posted and she had been hacked. And so I thought to myself, I only know 2 people on this website and they were both hacked. So it looks to me like there's a hacking scheme and probably the website owner is involved in that. And so it became the chore to prove the hacking. And I eventually got the FBI involved. And I did my own investigation and started reaching out to various victims on the site to find out how they got on there. And based on my study, 40% of them had been hacked. And we knew based on the email address that it was the same hacker in many of the cases. And so that's kind of how I proceeded. But it was 2 years of work. I mean, it was really something that I had to put everything aside and put all my attention onto this website. Because it wasn't just about my daughter anymore. Now I had connections with all these other victims, so I had to get their pictures down. I felt that it was important to also help them and get them down, and also to get the website removed.
I'm just going on and